I bought the resort where I used to clean toilets after my family betrayed me. Now my sister, ex-lover, and parents are furious I banned them for life when they tried to vacation there free. Hey there, wonderful people. Take a moment to subscribe, drop a hi, and tell us where you're joining from. Ready? Let's continue with today's story. The email notification lit up my phone at 2:47 a.m. My sister Lella's name made my stomach drop before I even read the words. Hey sis. Bringing Ethan and the family to your resort next month. Comp us the presidential suite for 2 weeks. Yeah? Family discount. Ethan. My ex-fiancé. The man who'd left me standing at the altar 3 years ago. For my own sister. I sat up in my luxury penthouse overlooking the ocean. The same view I'd once admired while scrubbing toilets on my hands and knees. This resort, Ocean View Paradise, had been my prison. Now it was my kingdom. The irony wasn't lost on me. My hands trembled as memories flooded back. I was 17 when Mama sent me here to work, pulling me out of school. We need the money, Kayla. Your sister needs college tuition. Meanwhile, Lella got her business degree while I cleaned up after wealthy guests. My dreams of becoming an architect drowning in bleach water and broken promises. You're being dramatic, Daddy had said when I begged to go back to school. Family sacrifices for family. I sacrificed. They prospered. For 15 years I sent money home while living in a storage room eating staff leftovers, invisible to everyone except when they needed their toilets cleaned or their trash removed. Then came the miracle. Mrs. Eleanor Saunders, the resort's owner, dying of cancer with no heirs. She'd watched me sketch building designs on napkins during breaks. You have vision, Kayla, she'd whispered in the hospital. Take it. Make it yours. Her will shocked everyone. She left me everything. The resort, her fortune, all of it. Now Lella wanted it free. I smiled in the darkness. Not this time. The lawyer's office had smelled like old books and expensive cologne when Mr. Patterson read Eleanor's will 6 months ago. My family hadn't attended. They didn't know I'd been invited. They didn't know Mrs. Saunders and I had formed a bond over late-night conversations about architecture and dreams deferred. To Kayla Rosario, who saw beauty where others saw only service, I leave my entire estate valued at $42 million, including Ocean View Paradise Resort, with one condition, that she never let anyone diminish her light again. I'd called Mama first, voice shaking with excitement. Mama, you won't believe what happened. Mrs. Saunders left me. How much? She'd interrupted. No congratulations. No pride. Just immediate calculation in her voice. The resort, Anne. Perfect. Lella and Ethan are struggling with their business. You can hire them as managers. And your father needs that hip surgery, $30,000. We'll need it by next week. My joy crystallized into something sharp and cold. Mama, I haven't even. Family takes care of family, Kayla. After everything we did for you, giving you that job, keeping you fed. I paid you. The words exploded out. I sent money every month for 15 years. Silence. Then Daddy's voice in the background. Girl better not be getting uppity now that she's got money. That conversation was 3 months ago. I'd paid for his surgery anyway, hoping it would be different. Hoping they'd finally see me. Instead, they'd shown up at the resort's grand reopening I'd orchestrated, which I'd completely renovated using my architectural vision. Not to celebrate but to criticize. Too modern, Mama had sniffed, eyeing the elegant lobby I'd designed. You're forgetting where you came from. Lella had walked through holding Ethan's hand, her diamond ring catching the light. Must be nice playing dress-up in a dead woman's life. That ring should have been mine. The flashback hit me as I stared at Lella's email. 3 years ago, trying on my wedding dress, the seamstress pinning the hem while I dreamed about finally having my own family. Ethan and I had met at the resort. He'd been a guest, charming and successful. He'd seen past the cleaning uniform to the woman underneath. Or so I'd thought. Kayla, we need to talk. Lella had appeared in the bridal shop doorway and I'd smiled, thinking she'd come to help. Instead, her next words shattered everything. I'm pregnant. It's Ethan's baby. The seamstress's scissors had clattered to the floor. I'd stood there, white dress half-pinned, world collapsing. What? It happened at your engagement party. We didn't mean for it to happen, but... She'd actually looked annoyed, like I was inconveniencing her. He loves me, Kayla. He always did. You were just convenient. Someone to take care of him while he built his business. I'd called Ethan, hands shaking. Tell me she's lying. His silence said everything. Then, I'm sorry, Kayla. But you have to understand, Lala and I, we're from the same world. You're still just what? I'd whispered. You clean toilets, baby. Lala has a degree, ambitions, connections. I need a partner who can match me. The wedding was cancelled. Lala wore my dress to their courthouse ceremony. She'd had it altered, claimed it was too expensive to waste. Mama had attended, sent me photos with the caption, "Your sister looks beautiful. Stop being selfish and be happy for family." I'd worked double shifts for months, crying into toilet bowls, my humiliation complete. Until Eleanor's diagnosis changed everything. Now, sitting in my penthouse wearing silk pajamas that cost more than my monthly salary used to be, I typed my response to Lala. Request denied. Standard rates apply. $2,500 per night for presidential suite. No family discounts available. Her reply came instantly. Are you serious? Morning brought clarity and coffee on my private terrace. My assistant, Denise, a sharp woman in her 50s who'd worked at the resort for 20 years, knocked on my door at 7 a.m. with her tablet and that look that meant trouble. Your mother's calling the front desk every 15 minutes, she said, settling into the chair across from me. She's telling staff they're fired if they don't comp your sister's rooms. Apparently, she told everyone in town you're their resort owner, and they deserve free access. I closed my eyes, breathing in salt air. What else? Your father's spreading rumors that you stole money from Mrs. Saunders. Says the will was forged. And Ethan, she paused, lips tight. Ethan called saying he has business opportunities for you. Says he can manage the financial side, since you don't have education in business management. The audacity punched me in the chest. I'd taught myself accounting, marketing, and hospitality management through online courses during night shifts. I'd transformed this resort from dated to cutting edge, increasing revenue 43% in 6 months. My architectural redesigns had been featured in 3 major travel magazines. But to them, I'd always be the girl who cleaned toilets. Denise, pull up our booking system. I want to see every reservation under my family's names for the past 3 years. What she showed me made my blood boil. Lala and Ethan had been staying here regularly, always comped by the previous manager, who they'd somehow convinced I'd approved it. 15 visits. Presidential suite. Room service charges in the thousands. All billed to owner's family courtesy. Total amount, $67,000. They'd been stealing from me before I even owned the place, using my future inheritance like their personal piggy bank. Cancel any future reservations, I said quietly. And Denise, draw up a formal ban. All 4 of them, Mama, Daddy, Lala, and Ethan. Permanent. No exceptions. Denise smiled. I've been waiting months for you to say that. Mama called at noon, her voice saccharine sweet. Baby girl, I heard there was some confusion at the front desk. I'm sure you didn't mean to deny your sister's request. I put her on speaker, continuing to review architectural plans for the resort's expansion. No confusion, Mama. I meant exactly what I said. Kayla Marie Rosario, you watch your tone with me. The sweetness evaporated instantly. I didn't raise you to be disrespectful. You didn't raise me at all, I said calmly, though my heart hammered. You sent me away at 17 to work. Lala got college. I got calluses and chemical burns from cleaning supplies. We did what was necessary. Your sister had potential. And I didn't? The words came out sharper than intended. What was I, Mama? Just the workhorse? The bank account? That's not, you're twisting things. Her voice pitched higher. We gave you a job when you were nothing. Kept you from ending up on the streets. I laughed, a sound without humor. I sent you $1,200 every month for 15 years. That's $216,000, Mama. Plus Daddy's surgery, Lala's wedding, which let's not forget was supposed to be my wedding, and every emergency you called about. I'm not twisting anything. I'm finally seeing clearly. Silence. Then, you've become cruel, Kayla. That money changed you. No, Mama. That money freed me. There's a difference. I pulled up the spreadsheet Denise had prepared. Did you know Lala and Ethan racked up $67,000 in charges here, claiming I'd approved it? Before I even owned the resort. They said you knew. They said it was payment for. She stopped abruptly. Payment for what? Ice crept through my veins. Finish that sentence. Her breath caught. Nothing. I misspoke. Mama. Payment. For what? For taking Ethan off your hands. The words exploded from her. You would have ruined him, Kayla. Dragged him down with your limited life. Lala saved him. Saved you both from a miserable marriage. The least you could do is show gratitude. The phone slipped in my sweating palm. They planned it. All of it. I hung up on Mama and immediately called Lala. She answered on the first ring, clearly expecting our mother. Did you convince her? Convince me of what? I asked quietly. Pause. Kayla? I thought. Mama just told me something interesting. That I should be grateful you took Ethan off my hands. Care to explain? My voice remained steady, though I was gripping the desk edge so hard my knuckles whitened. Lala sighed dramatically. Fine. You want the truth? Mama and Daddy were worried you'd actually marry him. Can you imagine? You married to someone like Ethan? A successful businessman with a master's degree, and you with your GED and janitor skills? It was embarrassing for the whole family. Each word landed like a slap. So you seduced my fiancé as a favor to the family? Oh please. Don't be so dramatic. Ethan was already having doubts. I just accelerated the inevitable. And honestly, you should thank me. Look at you now, rich and successful. If you'd married him, you'd just be some housewife cleaning his toilets instead of owning a resort. We did you a favor. The casual cruelty took my breath away. You wore my wedding dress, Lala. It was a beautiful dress. And you weren't using it. Why waste $8,000? Mama agreed it made sense. Besides, her voice turned vicious. You never deserved him anyway. You think someone like Ethan really loved you? He told me he was just using you for your employee discount at the resort and free accommodations. He laughed about it, Kayla. Called you his cleaning lady girlfriend to his friends. Something inside me cracked, but not the way she intended. It wasn't breaking. It was crystallizing into diamond-hard clarity. Is that all? What? She sounded confused by my calm tone. Is there anything else you want to confess? Any other ways you betrayed me that I should know about? Why are you being weird? Just gathering information. I pulled up my voice recording app, seeing the last 20 minutes saved. Thank you for being so honest, Lala. Really. It clarifies everything. I hung up before she could respond. That evening, a knock on my door interrupted my rage cleaning. Old habits die hard. I opened it to find Ethan standing there in an expensive suit, that same charming smile that once made me weak. Kayla, you look amazing. His eyes traveled over me appreciatively. Success suits you. What do you want, Ethan? I didn't move from the doorway. To apologize. And to talk business. He tried to step forward, but I blocked him. Come on, baby. Don't be like that. What happened between us, it was complicated. But I'm here now and I see you. Really see you. Maybe we made a mistake. We. I laughed bitterly. There was no we in that decision. You and my sister destroyed my life. Destroyed. He gestured around. Looks like you landed on your feet. Better than on your feet, actually. You're rich now. And I'm thinking, why let the past keep us from a profitable future? Lala and I were having problems. The business is struggling. But you and me, we could. You want to leave my sister for me now that I have money? The audacity was breathtaking. What happened to me being just a cleaning lady? His mask slipped. Don't be stupid, Kayla. This resort is worth millions. You need someone with business experience. Someone sophisticated who can navigate. Someone like you who can embezzle funds like you did before? I pulled out my phone, showing him the spreadsheet. Did you think I wouldn't find out about the $67,000 you and Lala stole? His face paled. That's not. We had an understanding with the previous management. We were doing promotional. You were stealing. And now you're banned. Permanently. You and Lala, my parents, all of you. Security has your photos. If any of you set foot on this property, you'll be arrested for trespassing. You can't do this. His charm evaporated into rage. Your family is not welcome here. I stepped back to close the door. Goodbye, Ethan. His foot blocked it. You'll regret this, Kayla. You think you're somebody now, but you're still. Still what? A male voice interrupted. Ethan spun to find Detective James Morrison, Eleanor's nephew and the resort's security consultant. Finish that sentence. I'm curious. Ethan's anger drained. I was just leaving. Good idea. James watched him go, then turned to me. You okay? Getting there. James stepped into my penthouse, setting down a cardboard box I hadn't noticed he'd been carrying. My aunt left this for you. Her lawyer said to give it to you when the vultures start circling. I figured today qualified. Inside were letters, dozens of them all addressed to me. I pulled out the first one, dated 5 years ago, and Eleanor's elegant handwriting blurred through my tears. Dear Kayla, I watched you sketch a redesign of the lobby today on your lunch break. You hid it quickly when guests approached, ashamed to be caught dreaming. I once hid my dreams too. My family said women didn't become architects in my generation. I became a businesswoman instead, but I never stopped wondering, what if? Don't let your what ifs haunt you the way mine haunt me. You have vision, child. I see it every day. When the time comes, I'm going to make sure you get the chance I never had. She watched me for years, I whispered, pulling out more letters. Each one documented moments I'd forgotten. My sketches, my ideas, my quiet determination. She saw me when my own family didn't. James sat beside me. Aunt Eleanor was a brilliant judge of character. She knew exactly what your family was. That's why the will had those specific clauses. What clauses? If you had given them the resort, or significant shares of it, within the first year, everything would have reverted to charity. She wanted to make sure you protected what was yours. He pulled out another envelope, this one marked open when they ask for money. She predicted all of this, Kayla. Inside was a letter dated the week before Eleanor died. By now they've asked for what they think they're owed. They'll use guilt, obligation, and twisted definitions of family to manipulate you. Remember this. Family is not who shares your blood. Family is who nurtures your dreams. You owe them nothing. You earned everything you have, with your hands, your mind, and your heart. The resort isn't just a gift. It's the life you built, brick by brick, dream by dream. Don't let them take it. You've cleaned up after people your whole life. Stop cleaning up their messes. Your life is yours now. Finally, blessedly yours. I sobbed, really sobbed for the first time since her funeral. News of the banns spread through town like wildfire. Mama and Daddy showed up at the resort's monthly community meeting. I'd started hosting them to rebuild relationships with locals. They marched in like they owned the place. Mama's church hat tilted defiantly, Daddy's jaw set hard. We need to address this situation, Mama announced to the 50 attendees, business owners, residents, and resort staff. My daughter has lost her mind with this newfound wealth. She's turned her back on family, on her raising, on everything we taught her about loyalty. I stood at the podium, heart pounding, but met her gaze. Would you like to address the group, Mama? Tell them about loyalty? I'm telling them right now. This girl. Woman, I corrected. I'm 38 years old, Mama. Not a girl. This woman, she spat, has banned her own family from this resort. Her sister, who's pregnant with her second child. Second. I interrupted. Lella's pregnant again? Mama's triumphant smile made me sick. 3 months. And you're denying her the stress-free vacation she needs. What kind of aunt does that? What kind of sister? Murmurs rippled through the crowd. I felt judgment pressing down, that old shame creeping back. Then Denise stood up. Ms. Rosario, she addressed the crowd using my formal name, worked at this resort for 15 years. I watched her send money home every month while living in a storage room. I watched her family visit regularly, staying in suites she paid for with her labor, never once thanking her. I watched her dreams get smaller and smaller until Mrs. Saunders reminded her she could dream big again. Mr. Patterson, the lawyer, stood next. I've reviewed the financial records. Ms. Rosario sent her family over $200,000 during her employment here. Her sister and former fiancé accumulated $67,000 in unauthorized charges. She paid for her father's surgery, her sister's wedding, and countless emergencies that were really elective purchases. She owes them nothing. More people stood. Staff members. Longtime guests. Each one sharing stories of my kindness, work ethic, and vision. Mama's face turned purple. You've poisoned them against us. Turned everyone. No, Mama, I said quietly. I just stopped lying for you. And I'm done being ashamed of the truth. Daddy stood, grabbing Mama's arm. Let's go. This is pointless. As they left, Mama turned back. You'll regret this, Kayla. Family is forever. Money isn't. Then I guess, I said, we'll see which one of us is right. 2 weeks later, I was reviewing expansion plans when James knocked urgently. Turn on the news. Channel 7. My heart sank as I saw Ethan on screen, standing outside the resort gates with Lella beside him, visibly pregnant, tears streaming down her face. A reporter thrust a microphone forward. Mr. Saunders, you're claiming discrimination? Absolutely, Ethan said, arm around Lella. Kayla Rosario banned my pregnant wife from this resort out of petty jealousy. She's never gotten over the fact that Lella and I fell in love. Now she's using her position to punish us, putting my wife's health at risk by causing stress during her high-risk pregnancy. That's a lie. I breathed, but the damage was being broadcast to thousands. Lella sobbed on cue. She was my sister, my best friend. I thought she'd forgiven us, that we could move forward as family. But she's bitter and vindictive. She's even turned our parents away. They're elderly, they just wanted to see their daughter's success, and she humiliated them publicly. The reporter turned to the camera. Should personal grudges affect business practices? Should wealthy business owners weaponize their power against family members? More at 11. My phone exploded. Social media lit up with #BoycottOceanView trending. 1-star reviews flooded in from people who'd never even visited. Anonymous accounts called me everything from bitter ex to far worse. Denise burst in. We're getting cancellations. 17 so far. James was already on his phone. I'm calling my contacts. We'll release a statement. No. I stood, surprising myself with my steadiness. I'm going down there myself. If they want to make this public, let's make it public. Denise grabbed my arm. Kayla, think about this. The cameras are exactly what I need. I grabbed the box of Eleanor's letters and the financial records. Sometimes the truth needs an audience. I walked out through the lobby, staff watching nervously. Through the glass doors I could see the news vans, the cameras, Ethan's smug face. I pushed open the doors and the cameras swung toward me. It was time to stop hiding. The microphones thrust toward me like weapons as I approached. Ethan's smugness flickered when he saw my calm expression and the folders in my hands. Lella's theatrical crying hiccuped to a stop. Ms. Rosario, the reporter called, do you have a response to these allegations of discrimination and family cruelty? I do. I opened the first folder. This is documentation of $67,000 in fraudulent charges Ethan Saunders and Lella Rosario Saunders made to this resort before I owned it, claiming my authorization. This is theft, plain and simple. I filed a police report yesterday. Ethan paled. We had permission from whom? I turned to him directly. Name them. Because management has no record of authorization, and all former managers deny approving these charges. Cameras swiveled to capture his silence. I continued. This second folder contains bank records showing $216,000 I sent my family over 15 years, plus $30,000 for my father's surgery, $8,000 for Lella's wedding, to my former fiancé, I might add, and various other emergencies. I did this while living in a storage room and eating leftover food from events. I was 17 when my family sent me here to work so my sister could attend college. Lella found her voice. That's not fair. You're making it sound like exploitation? I pulled out my phone, playing the recording of our conversation. Lella's voice rang clear. Ethan was just using you for your employee discount. He called you his cleaning lady girlfriend to his friends. Then Mama's voice. You should be grateful Lella took Ethan off your hands. The least you could do is show gratitude. The reporter's eyes widened. Lella lunged forward, trying to grab my phone, but James materialized beside me, blocking her. You recorded me? Lella shrieked. That's illegal. Single-party consent state, James said calmly. Perfectly legal. I held up Eleanor's letters. These are from Eleanor Saunders, the previous owner. She documented years of watching my family take advantage of me. She left me this resort not just because I worked hard, but because she saw what my family refused to see, potential, vision, and worth. My voice cracked, but I pushed through. I ban them because they don't love me. They love what they think they can take from me. That's not family. That's exploitation with a blood relation attached. Silence fell. Then someone in the growing crowd, curious onlookers drawn by the commotion, started clapping. Another joined. Then another. Soon applause drowned out everything else. The reporter turned to Ethan and Lella. Would you like to respond to the evidence? They were already leaving. The video went viral. #Justice for Kayla trended. Reservations flooded back in. Business doubled within a week. I was invited to speak at entrepreneurship conferences and women's empowerment events. Magazine profiles called me the phoenix who rose from the ashes, and from janitor to mogul, the Kayla Rosario story. But success tastes bitter when it's seasoned with loss. I sat in my penthouse 3 months later, looking at the ultrasound photo Mama had mailed me. No note, just the image of my niece-to-be. On the back someone had written, Scarlett Rose Saunders. You'll never know her. That broke something in me that public vindication couldn't repair. James found me crying on the terrace. Talk to me. I won, I whispered. I proved they were wrong. I protected myself. So why does it hurt so much? Because winning against family doesn't feel like winning. He sat beside me. It feels like losing in a different way. She's pregnant, James. With her second baby. My nieces will grow up hearing stories about their terrible aunt who abandoned the family. And maybe, my voice broke. Maybe I am the villain in their version. Maybe setting boundaries makes me the bad guy. Or maybe, he said gently, you're teaching those girls a lesson your family never learned. That love without respect isn't love at all. That women don't have to sacrifice themselves on the altar of family to have worth. I wanted to believe him. But that night, I dreamed of the little girl I'd been holding Lella's hand on her first day of kindergarten, promising to always protect her. Who was protecting whom now? The resort flourished. I designed a new wing that won architectural awards. I created scholarship programs for young people from underprivileged backgrounds, paying forward what Eleanor gave me. I donated to women's shelters and job training programs. But I spent holidays alone. Birthdays alone. Every success was celebrated with staff and friends, never family. 1 year after the confrontation, my phone rang at 3 a.m. Daddy's number. I almost didn't answer. Kayla. His voice was weak, hoarse. It's your mama. He had a stroke. The doctors say he broke down. They say she might not make it. She's asking for you. My hand shook holding the phone. Is everyone there? Lella? Ethan? Yes. We're all here. Please, baby girl. Whatever happened between us, she's your mama. She needs you. I stared at the ceiling, tears streaming sideways into my hair. This was the moment. Forgiveness or forever. Reconciliation or permanent estrangement. I didn't know what scared me more, that I might go or that I might not. I arrived at the hospital at dawn, my chest tight with anxiety and something that might have been hope. The ICU smelled of antiseptic and sorrow. Through the window of room 347 I saw them. Daddy slumped in a chair, Lella holding one of Mama's hands, Ethan awkwardly patting her shoulder. A little girl, maybe 2 years old, slept in a carrier. My first niece. I pushed open the door. They all turned. Lella's face hardened immediately. You actually came. Daddy called. I approached the bed slowly. Mama looked small, fragile, so unlike the formidable woman who'd ruled our family with guilt and expectation. Tubes and monitors reduced her to something heartbreakingly human. Her eyes fluttered open, found mine. Kayla. The word slurred slightly, her right side weak. Came. I did. I stood at the foot of the bed, maintaining distance. How are you feeling? Scared. A tear rolled down her cheek. Dying makes you think. About mistakes. About. She struggled for words. About being wrong. Lella stood abruptly. Don't you dare guilt-trip her now, Mama. She's been horrible. Hush. Mama's good hand waved weakly. For once, in your life, hush and listen. He focused on me with effort. I was wrong. Sent you away. Took your money. Your dreams. Your dignity. Made you small, so Lella could be big. Her breathing labored. Thought I was protecting the one with potential. Didn't see. You had it all along. My throat tightened. This was what I'd waited years to hear. The admission. The acknowledgement. But standing there watching this woman who'd shaped my life through neglect and exploitation struggle to breathe, I felt something unexpected. Not triumph but profound sadness. Why? I whispered. Why her and not me? She was like me, Mama admitted. Ambitious. Demanding. Educated. You were soft. Kind. Thought the world would eat you alive. Better to use you than let life crush you. She coughed, machines beeping frantically. Was wrong. So wrong. You didn't need protecting. You needed believing in. The nurse rushed in checking monitors. She needs rest. You all should go. Mama gripped my hand with surprising strength. Forgive me. I looked into her eyes, really looked. Saw fear, regret, and something that might have been love, distorted by her own damage but real nonetheless. I saw a woman who'd been taught that daughters were investments, that love was conditional, that worth was measured in degrees and bank accounts. She'd hurt me because she'd been hurt. The cycle spun backward through generations. I forgive you, I said finally. But I can't forget. And I won't pretend the past didn't happen. Don't want you to, she breathed. Want you to be free. Finally. Of me. Of expectations. Be Kayla. The one Eleanor saw. She closed her eyes. I stood there another moment, then turned to leave. Daddy stopped me at the door. Thank you for coming. For saying that to her. She's been eating herself up with guilt. Has she? I looked at him steadily. Or is she scared of dying without making peace? There's a difference, Daddy. His face crumpled. I failed you too. I know that. Every day I know it. Then do better, I said softly. Be the grandfather those girls deserve. Break the cycle. That's how you make it right, not with me but with them. I walked out, leaving them in that room with their choices and consequences. Mama survived the stroke. She had months of rehabilitation ahead. I didn't visit again, but I paid her medical bills. All of them. Not because I owed her but because I could, and because mercy isn't weakness. Lela sent an email 2 months later. Thank you for covering Mama's care. I don't understand you. Maybe I never will. But, thank you. I didn't respond. Some bridges burn for a reason. The resort thrived. I adopted a daughter. A brilliant 16-year-old named Arya from the foster system who reminded me of myself at that age. Full of dreams and desperately needing someone to believe in them. I showed her my architectural sketches. Taught her about business. Loved her unconditionally. On Mother's Day she gave me a card. To the mom who chose me. Thank you for seeing me. I cried, understanding finally what Eleanor had known. Family isn't who you're born to. It's who sees you, believes in you, and stays even when it's hard. Standing on my terrace watching the sunset over water I'd once scrubbed on my knees, Arya beside me sketching the horizon, I realized something profound. I'd spent my life cleaning up other people's messes, making spaces beautiful for others to enjoy. Now I'd created a life beautiful enough for me to finally enjoy it. That wasn't revenge. That was revolution. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is choose yourself. If this story resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever had to set boundaries with toxic family members? How did you handle it? Your story might help someone else find their strength. Remember, you are not obligated to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Until next time, take care of yourselves. You deserve it.